Welcome to this video. We're going to quickly explain the difference between a variable speed and a fixed displacement pump. So you use pumps in different applications in the quarry industry. You can either use them for washing material or recycling. So you use a pump whenever you want to move a slurry between different pieces of machinery or into a cyclone or a different application. So to start off with, fixed displacement, you've generally got an electric motor with a belt drive or a fixed coupling drive to a centrifugal pump. It's the most common mechanical setup. So the benefits is very simple. You've just got one motor, you've got a mechanical connection between the motor and the pump. Low cost, so you've only really got minimum amount of equipment required. You do have a consistency with your material production, so generally you'd use a pump to make pressure for a cyclone or something like that. So if you're putting material through a cyclone, you want it to be at a maintained pressure to have a constant material discharge. It's reliable and mechanically adjustable. So as I say, generally you've got a belt, sometimes you've got a fixed coupling, but if you've got a belt drive between the motor and the pump, you can adjust the speed mechanically by swapping out different sized pulleys. So generally you do that when you set up the process to get your pressures and your speeds right, and once it's good to go, you can let it running from there ever after. So the restrictions on a fixed displacement pump, obviously you've only got a constant discharge, so that's volume and pressure. Off the back of that, it's the same material can only be produced. So if you're using a pump to feed a cyclone, you can generally only make one material. Moving on to a variable displacement, there's multiple ways this can be done. The most common in the quarry industry would be an electric motor with a variable speed drive system installed. The alternative is to use a ICE motor, ICE, so a combustion engine, so a diesel engine, which has got obviously different RPM. So the benefits, you do have a lot of control and it's very user friendly once it's set up. So essentially you've got a screen where you can adjust your speeds very quickly. And then once you adjust your discharge, which is your pressure and your volume, depending on the restriction, you can have different materials produced with the same setup at a very simple change. Restrictions, so you do have the cost of the control unit or the diesel engine, which you wouldn't have needed for a fixed displacement. It is a little more complex to set up, and that can also add to the cost. Essentially, you do have to have a control panel to run the plant and make adjustments as necessary. Thanks for watching. If you've got any further questions, reach out to the Quip2 team.